Albert Einstein is a name that transcends science. It's synonymous with genius, creativity, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. But how much do we really know about the man behind the wild hair and the famous equation? Today, we're diving deep into the life of Albert Einstein, uncovering not just his scientific brilliance, but the quirks, controversies, and hidden chapters that shaped him into the icon we know today. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, Germany. From the start, he was far from ordinary. Einstein's head was oddly shaped at birth, so much so that his mother thought something might be wrong with him. While it eventually rounded out, he was a slow talker, not forming full sentences until he was about 3 years old. His family lovingly referred to him as der Deppete, or the dopey one. But what he lacked in speech, he made up for it in curiosity. At age 5, he was given a simple compass by his father. The young Albert became obsessed with the way the needle moved without being touched, sparking a lifelong fascination with the unseen forces that govern the universe. He later called this one of the most formative moments of his life. Einstein's early school years weren't particularly remarkable. In fact, his teachers thought he was lazy and inattentive because he daydreamed so much. But there was one subject where he stood out: mathematics. By the age of 12, Einstein had taught himself algebra and geometry, referring to it as sacred geometry. Einstein didn't thrive in traditional education. He hated the rigid structure and the rote memorization emphasized by his teachers. One teacher even told him, "You will never amount to anything." At 15, Einstein's rebellious streak led him to drop out of school without finishing. His family had moved to Italy, and Albert followed them, deciding to pursue his studies independently. This wasn't a typical dropout story, though. Einstein didn't give up on education, he simply found the system too constraining. He spent his time reading philosophy, studying physics, and working through complex math problems on his own terms. In 1896, Einstein enrolled in the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich. This was where he met Mileva Marić, a brilliant Serbian physicist and the only woman in his class. The two bonded over their love for science, and their relationship quickly turned romantic. Their relationship was unconventional for the time. Marić became pregnant before they were married, a huge scandal in the early 20th century. They had a daughter, Liesl, who was either given up for adoption or died in infancy. The mystery of what happened to Liesl remains unsolved to this day. Einstein and Mileva married in 1903 and had 2 sons, Hans Albert and Eduard. However, their marriage was fraught with difficulties. Mileva supported Einstein's scientific ambitions but struggled to balance this with her own aspirations. Their relationship eventually deteriorated, and they divorced in 1919. 1905 was Einstein's Annus Mirabilis, or miracle year. While working as a patent clerk in Bern, he published 4 revolutionary papers that changed physics forever. His paper on the photoelectric effect introduced the concept of light behaving as particles, laying the foundation for quantum mechanics. He provided mathematical proof for the existence of atoms through his work on Brownian motion. He presented the special theory of relativity, showing that time and space are not absolute but relative to the observer. And finally, he unveiled E=mc², proving that energy and mass are interchangeable. What's fascinating is that Einstein developed these ideas while working a 9-to-5 job and without access to a formal research lab. He often scribbled equations on scraps of paper during his breaks at the patent office. By the 1920s, Einstein was a global celebrity. He traveled the world, giving lectures and meeting dignitaries. He even visited Hollywood, where he mingled with Charlie Chaplin. When Chaplin asked Einstein why people loved him so much, Einstein replied, "Because they understand me just as little as they understand you." Here are some fun and lesser-known facts about Einstein during his rise to fame. 1. He loved music. Einstein was an accomplished violinist and said if he weren't a physicist, he would have been a musician. 1. He often played to relax when he was stuck on a problem. 2. He hated socks. Einstein refused to wear socks, claiming they were unnecessary and prone to developing holes. 3. He was offered the presidency of Israel. In 1952, Einstein was offered the ceremonial presidency of Israel. 3. He politely declined, saying he wasn't cut out for politics. 4. He had a quirky sense of humor. Einstein once said, "I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university." Einstein spent his later years at Princeton University in New Jersey, where he worked on the elusive unified field theory, attempting to combine quantum mechanics and general relativity. 4. Though he never succeeded, his efforts paved the way for future research. 5. He also became an outspoken advocate for civil rights, nuclear disarmament, and world peace. 5. He even publicly supported the American civil rights movement, saying, "Being a Jew myself, perhaps I can understand and empathize with how black people feel as victims of discrimination." 6. Einstein passed away on April 18, 1955, at the age of 76. 6. Interestingly, his brain was removed during the autopsy without his family's consent. 6. Scientists have studied it extensively, hoping to uncover the secret of his genius, but no definitive answers have emerged. Albert Einstein was more than just a scientist. He was a symbol of intellectual curiosity, a defender of human rights, and a man who dared to question everything. 6. His legacy continues to inspire scientists, dreamers, and thinkers around the world. 6. So, the next time you see a photo of Einstein sticking his tongue out, remember, behind that playful expression was a mind that forever changed how we see the universe.